All right, for the past couple of years, enterprise AI has been, well, one big experiment, right? But that era is officially over. We are now in the hard hat era, where leaders like you are facing the much tougher challenge of moving from all those scattered pilots to a full-scale strategic implementation.
And wow, the data really shows just how tough this is. Right now, only about 11% of companies have actually managed to get agentic AI up and running in a meaningful way. And by that, I mean AI systems that can truly act on their own to get things done, not just analyze some data.
But here's the kicker. Almost everyone, 99% of companies, plans to deploy it. This massive gulf between what everyone wants to do and what's actually getting done, that's the production gap. And honestly, it's the single biggest challenge that leaders are wrestling with today.
So in this explainer, we are going to walk through a framework designed to bridge that very gap. We'll start by talking about getting beyond the pilot phase. Then we'll tackle 3 huge questions every leader needs to answer. After that, we'll lay out a practical path to production and wrap up with your key strategic imperatives.
Okay, let's just dive right in. The first step is a mental shift. We have to move past this mindset of isolated one-off experiments and really start thinking about building a single, unified, strategic AI capability that works across the whole company.
The very first question that leaders have to confront is all about control. And believe me, this is not just some tech issue. This goes to the very heart of your long-term competitive advantage and, frankly, your strategic independence.
And the question is this: do we actually own our intelligence, or are we just renting it from someone else? You know, when you rely completely on outside vendors, your most valuable operational know-how, your cognitive capital, the very DNA of how your business thinks and operates, is flowing through systems you don't control. That's a huge risk.
This brings us to the core concept of the whole framework: becoming a sovereign, agentic enterprise. What does that mean? It's an organization that treats its AI capability just like any other strategic asset. You maintain total control of your data, the intelligence that comes from it, and how it makes decisions. Period.
Now, this slide really lays out the difference. The old model, the one we're leaving behind, was all about being a consumer. You were just a user and a prompter. The new model is all about ownership. You go from having guardrails defined by your vendor to having your own internal control layers. And this is critical. Your people stop being just users and become mentors and supervisors for the AI. This ensures your intellectual property stays yours and only yours.
Okay, let's move on to the second massive challenge: trying to navigate this incredibly complex and, let's be honest, often contradictory mess of global regulations.
Think about it from a leadership perspective. You can't afford to build 5 different AI systems for 5 different regions. You need one unified strategy that can handle all these conflicting rules without bringing your innovation to a screeching halt.
And this chart just lays out the problem perfectly. You've got the EU's AI Act, which is all about protecting fundamental rights and safety, and they've got massive fines to back it up. Then you have the US, which is focused on national dominance and trying to keep the burden low. This creates so much legal uncertainty for any company that operates globally. So how do you manage this? You have to stop treating compliance like a checklist you deal with at the end. The real solution is to build compliance as a feature. That means you embed things like data lineage, human oversight checkpoints, and audit trails right into the architecture of your AI from day one.
All right, now for the risk that keeps every single CISO up at night. How do we make absolutely sure these powerful new autonomous systems are secure and that they stay secure?
Or to put it a little more bluntly, are we 100% sure these autonomous agents won't go rogue? I mean, our traditional security was built to handle human users. Agentic AI? That creates a whole new world of threats.
The number one vulnerability here is something called excessive agency. This happens when an agent is given way too much permission, like a master key to all your data and systems. It's basically the digital version of giving a brand new intern the keys to the entire building. It's just not a good idea. The answer is a totally new kind of security perimeter. It's called the inference control layer. You can think of it like a firewall specifically for AI agents. It enforces hard boundaries, it monitors their behavior in real time, it sanitizes their prompts, and it extends identity governance to every single machine. Okay, so we've defined the core challenges: sovereignty, regulation, and security. Now let's get practical and talk about the actual path to building a sovereign agentic enterprise.
This all starts with a completely different way of thinking about implementation. Forget about massive outsourcing projects. The Shepherd model is all about mentorship. It uses your senior-level experts to guide and upskill your own internal teams, making sure you're transferring knowledge, not just getting a black box solution you don't understand.
And the process itself is actually pretty intuitive. You start by capturing all that unwritten, gut-feeling knowledge from your absolute best people. Then, you work with them to encode that expertise into agent workflows. They validate what the agent is doing, they correct its mistakes, and then they monitor and refine it over time. They are literally teaching the AI how to think like your best employees.
And look, this isn't some big bang, flip-a-switch project. It's a phased journey. As you can see, the initial lift is a bit heavier. But as you systematize your processes and the agents get smarter, the amount of human oversight you need goes down, freeing up your team for much higher value work.
So this all leads to the most important point. What should you and your leadership team be doing, like right now, to get ready for this massive transition?
It really boils down to these 5 imperatives. First, you have to prioritize your internal sovereignty. Second, you've got to transition your workforce using that mentorship model. Third, adopt regulatory interoperability from the start. Fourth, implement those technical guardrails we talked about. And finally, shift your investment focus away from the hype and toward holding these AI initiatives accountable for real, measurable business outcomes.
And that leaves us with one final, very important question for you to take back to your team. I want you to take a hard, honest look at the path you're on right now. Is your AI strategy truly building a durable competitive moat for your business, or is it just digging a deeper and deeper trench of dependence on a few big vendors? The choice you make now will define your organization for the next decade.